Ruy J.Guerra B. de Queiroz is an associate professor at Universidad Federal de Pernambuco and holds significant works in the research fields of mathematical logic, proof theory, foundations of mathematics and philosophy of mathematics. He is the founder of the workshop on logic, language, information and computation, which has been organized annually since 1994, typically in June or July. Ruy de Queiroz received his BA in electrical engineering from Escola Politécnica de Pernambuco in 1980. His MSc in informatics from Universidad Federal de Pernambuco in 1984, and his PhD in computing from the Imperial College, London in 1990, for which he defended the dissertation Proof Theory in Computer Programming, an essay into the logical foundations of computation. His supervisor was Professor Thomas S. E. Maybaum. Research profile. In the late 1980s, Ruy de Queiroz has offered a reformulation of Martin Loeff's type theory based on a novel reading of Wittgenstein's "Meaning is use," where the explanation of the consequences of a given proposition gives the meaning to the logical constant dominating the proposition, amounting to a non-dialogical interpretation of logical constants via the effective elimination rules over introduction rules. Finding a parallel in Lorenzon's and Hinteke's dialogue game semantics. This led to a type theory called "Meaning as use type theory," published in item 10 below. In reference to the use of Wittgenstein's dictum, he has shown that the aspect concerning the explanation of the consequences of a proposition is present since a very early date when, in a letter to Russell, Wittgenstein refers to the universal quantifier only having meaning when one sees what follows from it. Since later in the 1990s, Ruy de Queiroz has been engaged, jointly with D.Guerra B, in a program of providing a general account of the functional interpretation of classical and non-classical logics via the notion of labeled natural deduction. As a result, novel accounts of the functional interpretation of the existential quantifier, as well as the notion of propositional equality, were put forward, the latter allowing for a recasting of Statman's notion of direct computation, and a novel approach to the dichotomy "intentional versus extensional" accounts of propositional equality via the Curry-Howard interpretation. Since the early 2000s, Ruy de Queiroz has been investigating, jointly with A. de Oliveira, a geometric perspective of natural deduction based on a graph-based account of Neal's symmetric natural deduction. Service to the profession. Member of the advisory group to the Rolf Schock Prize in Logic and Philosophy Prize Committee. Editor-in-Chief, Logic Journal of the Interest Group in Pure and Applied Logics, Oxford University Press, 1993–present. Associate Editor, Journal of Computer System and Sciences, Coordinator and Co-founder, Interest Group in Pure and Applied Logics. The Clearinghouse of the European Association for Logic, Language and Information, 1990–present. Guest editor of several volumes of Annals of Pure and Applied Logic, Theoretical Computer Science, Information and Computation, Journal of Computer System and Sciences, Fundamenta Informatici, several volumes of Electronic Notes in Theoretical Computer Science. Creator and prime organizer of the series of workshops Wallach. Member of the editorial board of the International Directory of Logicians. Gab A and J. Woods, College Publications. Elected member, Council, Association for Symbolic Logic, 2006–2008. Key publications. The Functional Interpretation of Direct Computations. Electronic Notes in Theoretical Computer Science 269–19–40, 2011. On Reduction Rules, Meaning as Use, and Proof Theoretic Semantics, Studia Logica 90–211–247, November 2008. Geometry of Deduction via Graphs of Proof. In Logic for Concurrency and Synchronization. De Queiroz, Volume 18 of the Trends in Logic series, Clurac AD. Pub. Dordrecht, July 2003, ISBN 1-4020-1270-5, pp. 3-88. Meaning, function, purpose, usefulness, consequences, interconnected concepts. Logic Journal of the Interest Group in Pure and Applied Logics, 9-693-734, September 2001, Oxford Univ. Press. Labeled Natural Deduction. In Logic, Language and Reasoning. Essays in Honor of Ruy J.Guerra B, H.J. Olbeck and U. Rail, Volume 5 of Trends in Logic Series, Kluwer Academic Publishers, Dordrecht, June 1999, pp. 173-250. A normalization procedure for the equational fragment of labeled natural deduction. Logic Journal of the Interest Group in Pure and Applied Logics, 7-173-215, 1999, Oxford Univ. Press. Full version of a paper presented at 2nd Warlock, 95, Recife, Brazil, July 1995. Abstract appeared in Journal of the Interest Group in Pure and Applied Logics 4-330-332, 1996. The functional interpretation of the existential quantifier, in Bulletin of the Interest Group in Pure and Applied Logics 3-243-290, 1995. Full version of a paper presented at Logic Colloquium, 91, Uppsala. Abstract in JSL 58-753-754, 1993. Normalization and Language Games. In Dialectica 48-83-123, 1994. Extending the Curry-Howard interpretation to linear, relevant and other resource logics, in Journal of Symbolic Logic 57-1319-1365. Paper presented at Logic Colloquium, 90, Helsinki. Abstract in JSL 56-1139-1140, 1991. Meaning as grammar plus consequences, in Dialectica 45-83-86. Abstract data types and type theory. Theories as types, in Zeitschrift für mathematische Logik und Grundlagen der Mathematik 37-149-166. Proof Theory and Computer Programming, in Zeitschrift für mathematische Logik und Grundlagen der Mathematik 36-389-414. A proof theoretic account of programming and the role of reduction rules, in Dialectica 42-265-282. The mathematical language and its semantics. To show the consequences of a proposition is to give its meaning. In Weingartner, Paul and Schurz, Gerhard, editors, Reports of the 13th International Wittgenstein Symposium 1988. Volume 18 of Schriftenreihe der Wittgenstein-Gesellschaft, Vienna, 304 pp. Holder Pichler-Tempsky, pp. 259-266. Symposium held in Kirchberg, Wechsel, Austria, August 14-21, 1988. In Press. De Queiroz, de Oliveira, A., and Gabe, D. 2011, The Functional Interpretation of Logical Deduction. Volume 5 of Advances in Logic Series. Imperial College Press, World Scientific. ISBN 978-981-4360-95-1. Propositional equality, identity types, and direct computational paths. Teaching. Ruy de Queiroz has taught several disciplines related to logic and theoretical computer science, including set theory, recursion theory, logic for computer science, discrete mathematics, theory of computation, proof theory, model theory, foundations of cryptography. He has had 7 Ph.D. students in the fields of mathematical logic and theoretical computer science, regular academic or research appointments. Edward Larrick Tinker Visiting Professor, Department of Philosophy, Stanford University 2005-6. Associate Professor of Informatics, Universidade Federal do Pernambuco, Recife, Brazil, 1993–present. Honors and awards. Edward Larrick Tinker Visiting Professorship at Stanford University, awarded by the Tinker Foundation, after the nomination given by Solomon Pfefferman and Grigory Mintz, 2005. Overseas Research Student Scholarship Award, Committee of Vice-Chancellors and Principals, University of London, 1985–1987.